The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Vibe of the Tribe, where energy meets wisdom, giving you something to think about. Have you ever left your cell phone at home and all day long you just feel naked? Like, that's kind of what I'm going through right now without the rest of my tribe. I feel so naked. I'm missing the elder of our tribe. We call him Elder E, or it's Eric Jones, a.k.a. Elder E. We have Kimberly Williams, a.k.a. Kimmy Fresh, which is my sissy and kindred. And then Christian, the youngin' of the group. I miss you guys. Big ups to you guys. Y'all left me out here solo bolo today, but it's okay. It's okay. Today's topic, the topic for today, like Neighborhood Nip would say, last time that I checked. So today is about the last time you checked up on your health. I'm your host and your favorite nurse, T-E-E, a.k.a. Church Girl, hosting the broadcast for today. So, I've been a nurse for more than a decade, and health is my passion. I get paid to do it, but it's also my passion, and I've been taking care of people before I ever became a nurse. So it's befitting for me to bring the topic to surface. And so it's going to be kind of like a classroom atmosphere. I'm going to be teaching on health. You got Health 101 today. So for those of you who did not pay attention in the 7th grade, you're going to get your review today. Now, when you think of health, most people correlate health with the physical. But it's more than that. It's not just your toe bone connect to your foot bone connect to your ankle bone connect to your leg bone connect to your knee bone connect to your thigh bone connect to your hip bone, and so forth and so on. It's more than that. Yes, it is comprised of 11 systems that work together in order for us to function, but our mental health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health are equally important. Disease. Dis-ease. Disease involves all of the above. We're talking about physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. Because the body is synergistic. Simply put, the body works together. All things work together. Your spiritual health affects your mental health. Your mental health affects your emotional health. And your emotional health can affect your body. So, you can't just focus on one thing. You can't go to the gym every day for an hour, gym rats, and spend all this time with muscle strength, building your biceps, triceps, pecs, quads, and so forth. And mentally, you falling apart, or you stressed out, or you have anxiety or hidden depression. You can't take care of your mental, go meditate, do yoga, stay in your zen, and let your body fall apart. You can't focus on your body and your zen and be emotionally imbalanced. You can't focus on all those things and neglect your spiritual fortitude. All of that is your entire makeup. That's the whole you, from the rooter to the tutor. Now, Stress, folks. Yeah, child. Man, listen. Stress not only affects your cognition, which is your focus and your productivity, but stress abuses your body. I'm going to say that again. Stress abuses your body. Stress worsens any symptom. Headache, toe ache, stomach ache, whatever's going on, stress will only magnify it. Stress is hard on the heart. Stress affects your digestion. Stress affects your breathing capacity. Stress affects your appetite and the cycle of weight gain and weight loss. Stress ages you fast, and we don't need that. Stress causes sleep deprivation. When you're stressing on stuff, like, you can't rest because your mind is just focused on circumstance and situations and solving the problem and getting out of the bind or whatever it is. So you just cannot sleep if you're stressed. Stress suppresses your immune system, and that makes you more susceptible to infection. Stress causes acne. Stress causes hair loss. Stress, ladies and gentlemen, accelerates the disease process. Stress will kill you. So stop saying, I'm stressed out. Young folks, old folks, and everything in between. Stop saying, I'm stressed out. Ladies and gentlemen, your mind, body, and spirit will produce what you say. So if you say, I'm stressed out, I'm stressing, your mind, you'll have a stressed out mind, you'll have a stressed out spirit, and a stressed out body by your words alone. Words have power. This is a big one. Actually, it's a two-edged sword. You have a two-edged sword. You have anxiety and depression. They're first cousins. Xanax, and Prozac. The root of bipolar disorder. Now, most of you out there saying, I don't have no anxiety. I'm unbothered. You lying. Everybody is bothered with something. Everybody experiences symptoms of anxiety at times, and everybody experiences symptoms of depression at times. The key to managing those things is not to let those things manage you. So many of us are undiagnosed and are silently medicating anxiety and depression. So we got destructive and counterproductive behavior going on. We have stuff like compulsive spending going on. We have addictions going on. Some of us isolate, among other things. I can go deeper, but I won't. What has happened though is I think we live in a society that is so hurried about everything till we expect for day-to-day living to be hurried. And so when things don't move as quickly as we would like for them to move, or if things don't move as favorably as we would like for them to be, then we get in this state of panic. And that goes all the way from the government on down. Things in our world is so topsy-turvy, all this drama in the White House, our leader, just society, this racial tension, this law enforcement injustices, drugs, all this stuff going on just makes you like anxious. And then depression. Depression is something that we just tuck somewhere. Like we tuck it and act like it's not happening, but it actually is affecting a lot of us a lot of the time. And what the key to that is to flip it. Like, you don't allow depression to consume you. You got to come out of that by de-stressing. So When you get into destructive, counterproductive behavior like compulsive spending, addictions, isolations, and all that stuff, you have to take the necessary steps to resolve it, because suicidal rates are alarming. We're hearing about it in Hollywood, back to back, stars killing themselves. You got children who are being cyber bullied, killing themselves. You got young adolescents cutting themselves. You have young parents, single parents jumping off bridges. The other day I was looking on Facebook, and there was a young black woman who parked her car, kids in the car, left the kids in the car, and they watched her jump off of a bridge. And just the visual picture of that is disturbing, let alone the mental state a young woman has to be in order to have enough cognition to drive to a specific place with a plan in order to leave her life with her children in the car watching. Like, it's gotten bad, you guys. And people are taking, they call them Xannies, like it's nothing, like you popping candy or you taking a vitamin. As a nurse, I am encouraging you not to take prescription medications for recreation. I can't stress that enough. Number one, in its most basic form, you don't even know when you take something if you have an allergy to the medication. So let's say you take it one time, it doesn't do much to you. Take it again, it could close your throat up, anaphylaxis. So you really can't just be popping pills and think it's cool to do so. Same thing with the lean. A lot of the youngsters are drinking the lean, like that's the thing to do when you go to the club, when you chilling with your homies or your folks. But that cough syrup, over a long period of time, it affects your digestion. So when you don't have it, you get sick. And if you take it for too long, it can actually kill you. And I think that getting high just ain't worth it. But let's get back to anxiety and depression. So you got suicidal rates that are alarming. You got children cyberbullied, adolescents with heartbreaks, and even lonely seniors are killing themselves and everything in between. So mental health disorders most oftentimes are dismissed, and without a diagnosis, there is no treatment and there is no plan of care. And a lot of people don't seek help because they don't want to be labeled as crazy. And in our field, in the medical field, we don't even use that term. It's actually very offensive to medical professionals as well as patients to be labeled as crazy because the DSM, I think I'm calling that the name of it right, is a book. The DSM has a gazillion diagnoses listed in there of mental health disorders, and I promise you, you got at least 5 of them in there. So we shouldn't pass judgment on one another, and we shouldn't be reluctant to get the help we need if we're suffering from any mental health disorders. And that would include PTSD. A lot of us don't want to acknowledge the fact that if we've witnessed any trauma, if we've been victims of trauma, if we've even been perpetrators of trauma, that stuff affects you. You can't be in the hood and watch people get killed and think it doesn't affect you. It desensitizes you, but those feelings are inside of you and have created, can create symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder. Bipolar disorder is something that is genetic, but a lot of people won't even acknowledge the fact that if you go from high to low, if you can make yourself go from a 10, like being pumped, and then one circumstance or one word or one trigger or one environment or one person can make you feel down to the point where you isolate yourself, or you feel your appetite is affected, or your sleep is interrupted, or you just lose hope. That's a bipolar disorder. And those things definitely don't just go away. Okay. Mental health disorders are dismissed, and without diagnosis, there's no treatment or plan of care. And mental illness doesn't just go away. Those symptoms worsen over time is what I was trying to lead to. Without treatment, just like physical illness. An infection doesn't just go away. It is resolved with antibiotic therapy. Well, mental illness is the same. It is resolved with therapy and medicine. Like I said before, most of us just self-medicate. It isn't fixing the problem. It isn't resolving the problem. It's just delaying healing. And I don't want your healing to be delayed, okay? It took me, I started experiencing abuse to my recollect at about 7 years old. And I didn't get the appropriate attention until I was 40. And that's when I started the healing process. And that started with things in my life. Things in my life started to happen that forced me to acknowledge that something wasn't right with me. That I needed help, I needed attention, I needed guidance and direction in order for those circumstances not to worsen and for me to go deeper into mental health disorders. I suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, and up until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I couldn't even say that. And when you're having nightmares, or you feel a sense of anxiety when you're faced with certain trauma, affects me. Being around violent situations, it affects me. A lot of loud talking or being yelled at or confrontation, it kind of triggers me. And I learned to acknowledge that after making a whole lot of mistakes, and after putting myself in quite a few adverse situations, I started to give it the necessary attention. And now I can openly say that I'm closer to the healing side than I am to the sick side. So with that being said, seeking therapy and counseling and taking medications are available to equip you to live a productive life within a stable capacity. And that's what we want to do. We want to thrive. We want every aspect of our lives to be at its optimal functioning level. Okay? You're talking about living your best life. That's how you live your best life. You work on your body, you work on your mind, you work on your emotions, balancing those things, and then you work on your spirit. That's important. Just because you don't see your spirit every day, it still has to be functioning in a state of wellness. All right? I know y'all getting bored, but don't get bored when it's time to talk about your health, because you break your neck getting in the busting down the emergency room doors when you feel sick. So talking about health has to be, you have to be just as hungry to talk about health as you are to talk about sickness. A lot of people want to just focus on the bad. I've been having this pain for 25 years. I've been taking Vicodin for 10 years to fix such and such. And you still complaining about that same old illness. When you going to do something about it? When are you going to get the appropriate therapy for it? When are you going to see a chiropractor for it? When are you going to go to the doctor? When? I'll wait. Next topic. Sleep. Woo! I remember when I was little, they used to force me to take naps. I hated it. Hated taking naps. Now, when I'm busting down the door of 50, when I tell you that is my life's enjoyment to take me a good 2-hour nap with no interruption, no noise, no nothing. Man, the body needs sleep. With sleep, we truly undermine the importance of sleep. We should have, and I say we, that means all inclusive, everybody should have an 8-hour sleep routine, because that signals the body to rest even when we don't feel like it. Like, you train your body to rest. And the body is designed to be active for a period of time, and it's designed for restoration for a period of time. And that's what sleep involves, restoration. You have to give your body a chance to relax, wind down. You have to give your body a chance to stabilize, like to shake off all of the anxiety of the day, all the stress of the day, all of the thinking of the day, all of the activity of the day. The body needs to just get to a place of calm. And that's called REM sleep, REM sleep. Most of us don't know about that, because REM sleep is so deep, you shut off your thought process. Like, you stop thinking. And most of us think throughout our sleep. That's how you get into these vivid nightmares or dreams, because you won't shut your mind off. Your mind is just still going. Your creativity is still moving. Your thoughts are still in action because you won't rest. Like, you have to, and it's called sleep hygiene. It's something that they taught us in nursing school that is very beneficial to everybody. And you can Google it. Google it is very helpful. So the bedroom, number one, should be void of distractions. Your bedroom is really supposed to be a place of solitude and peace. It's like a sanctuary. So for people who like to light candles and get aromatherapy going, what is that? Lavender, peppermint oil, sage, these stones that they put around for certain energies. All that is well and swell, but you literally have to cut the TV off, cut the radio off, because your mind cannot completely shut down while you hear the noise. We're trained to listen. Like, that's a function of our sensory. So if you have healthy sensory, your mind is going to listen to the TV, actively listen to the TV, and actively interpret what you're listening to. So if you hear a song, you ever hear a song on the radio while you're asleep, and you almost can feel yourself wanting to dance in your sleep because you haven't shut your thoughts off. That happens to me all the time. I could be like dead tired and fall asleep and leave reality TV on. And I might have watched the whole episode. I saw it all. But my favorite part, when it comes on, I can literally wake up out my sleep and pick up on that particular scene because I have not shut my mind down. Well, when you in a state of REM, you don't wake up. That's that hard sleep. That's that snore sleep. That's that slobber out your mouth sleep. We don't get that as much as we should. We really should be getting 8 hours of that daily. So you have to condition yourself to de-stimulate your body and your mind before bed. And de-stimulating your mind and your body means you cannot read, because reading stimulates your mind. You shouldn't be drinking caffeine, so you don't want to drink a Coke or coffee or tea, any caffeine-based things before you go to bed, because that's going to stimulate you. It's going to make you hyphy. You don't want to drink. It's hard for you to, you notice when you come home, unless you black out, when you come home from the bar or the club, you kind of like pumped up. You don't feel like going to bed. Like you still stirred up because alcohol typically is not a sedative unless you've overconsumed. And when you overconsume and you're in alcohol intoxication, that might knock you out. But typically, alcohol is not a good de-stimulator. And even exercise. You don't want to exercise right before you go to bed, because you stir up your endorphins, your happy hormones. You get your adrenaline moving, and those things will not allow you to relax. But instead, what we should be doing is like Medea taught us. You drink a warm glass of milk, you take a warm bath, soak in the tub for about 30 minutes until your little skin starts shriveling up. Or you take a hot shower and just kind of like take off the weight of the day. And then the last thing you should do actually before you go to sleep is meditate. So when you meditate, it's not thinking of things, it's taking thoughts off. It's allowing yourself to separate yourself from the wheel of thinking. When you've seen a hamster wheel and it just keeps going. That's how our thoughts do. But when you meditate, you kind of take that off and just calm. Like just allow yourself to sit in a space of calm. That's hard to do. Most people don't even know how to do that. They start giggling. They start squirming. They got to make some kind of weird noise or do something stupid. They got to dance. You got to do something because you cannot bring yourself to a state of calm. But we have to do that in order for the body to fully regenerate itself. Now, I don't have a card for this one, but it is necessary for me to talk about it. It's illicit drug use. I started talking about it earlier when I was talking about anxiety and depression, because Xanax and Xannies are, a big thing. But illicit drug use breaks the body down from the inside out. And what typically happens is you start getting high off whatever it is, and it just has a little subtle high to it. So it'll make you feel good for a while, and then you seek that good feeling for a while. And that could be just blowing a blunt, calms you down, makes you laugh, takes off all the drama. You just cool with it. But smoking, snorting cocaine, popping pills, using crystal meth is kind of like going on to a whole different level. It's really doing something to your body on the inside, even though you don't see it. It truly is affecting your body, and over time, what it's doing on the inside starts to appear on the outside. Crystal meth users' teeth usually rot out. Their skin ages. So you have a 22-year-old girl that looks like she could be 65, no joke, because that crystal meth it's already eaten her up on the inside, but now it's beginning to manifest on the outside. Same thing with alcoholism. You can see an alcoholic from a mile away, and you know that they drink every day because it shows in the eyes are red, the skin is red, they have this shiny look to them, their stomach is big. They have a skeleton frame with the big stomach because the liver is enlarged. Like you start taking on the characteristics of your illicit substance or alcohol abuse. Same thing with so over a period of time, back in the day, the baby boomers were caught up with heroin and the crack cocaine era. Those were the baby boomers, most of them, not all of them, but the majority of them were caught up in the heroin era, and then that advanced to the crack era. Some of my family members were affected by it. And now they are dealing with hepatitis C. Hepatitis C advances to liver cancer. So they have new advancement in drug therapy that treats these things, but some people have neglected their health for so many years that they are literally at the final stages of liver disease. And then you have congestive heart failure. A lot of the baby boomers or the people who were smoking crack out of the crack pipe, that happened for a long time. That went on from like the early 80s to the end of the 90s, and some people still using it. But that crack pipe, it literally caused congestive heart failure. So you have people who have breathing issues, their heart is not fully functioning from illicit drug use over a long period of time. Now I'm going to get down with you youngsters. Y'all big weed smokers. With all these recombinants, you got the whoop-de-wop and the boop-de-bop over here and the good stuff. And I don't know the names. I probably could have my daughter run the names down, but I won't do that. And then you got people vaping. That's cool and all. But you also have newly diagnosed, not only lung cancer, but now you're getting tongue cancer. You're getting tonsil cancer. And you're getting throat cancer to blow that weed. So I try not, I'm a nurse 100% of the time, and I try not to lecture everybody that I encounter, but trust and believe I care about your health. So please don't interpret this as a beat down, but out of my love and concern and desire to help people, I think we need to have this conversation. The tribe needs to have this conversation. We got to have these kind of family meetings. You know what I'm saying? So the flip side, though, is this new CBD phenomenon. You heard of that? C as in cat, B as in boy, D as in David. The CBD phenomenon. It's in its purest form. It is managing anxiety, chronic pain, and even cancer. So do yourself a favor, folks. Do yourself a favor, fam. Do yourself a favor and let go of the illicit drugs. Get some help. They got AA, CA. They got meetings. You can go to the hospital. Literally, you can go to the hospital and there's help there. There's detox programs that are in-house detox programs. And then you have outpatient programs where you go on a voluntary basis. But just take the necessary steps to let it go. Let go of that crystal meth. Let go of that X. Let go of them Percocets. Let go of that lean. Let go of that cocaine. Like all that. Let it go and live. Okay? Diet, the D word. Ooh, not that D word, but this D word. I hate the D word. Not only this D word, but this one too. So they go together. I hate the D word because restriction heightens temptation. I said restriction heightens temptation. The more you're told to stay away from it, the more you're going to want it. I know that to be true. Discipline comes with making a consistent effort toward gradual change. So it's something that you got to do every day. You got to want to do it. And every single day, whether it's whether it's the minimal effort or your best effort, take some steps toward gradual change. And I said gradual change because it's not going to happen overnight. Anything that you have created a habit in doing, it takes 21 days to begin to break a habit. A lot of people think it's 21 days to break a habit. No, it's 21 days to begin to break a habit. That means you're just going to be scratching the surface of making that part of your daily routine. So take baby steps. Eat one apple every day. They say the apple a day keeps the doctor away. I mean, that's not no BS, buffoonery and shenanigans. That's real talk. An apple is packed. This little bitty hard thing is packed with vitamins and fiber. And not only does it taste good, but it is the best form of medicine for your digestive system. I promise you. All you need is an apple. So you don't need to take omeprazole, Prilosec, pantoprazole, and Tums, and let me see, get my wheels turning for GI meds. Well, anyway, you don't need to take all that. Eat an apple. Like, get your body conditioned to cutting it up. If you don't like the peeling, y'all complain about the red apple is more bitter than the green apple. This one isn't sweet. Da 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 da. Cut the peeling off, even though a lot of the vitamins are packed in the peeling, until you get to that point where you like the whole apple. Cut the core off, cut the peeling off, and eat the meat. That will help you. Another thing, eat a salad every single day. You need those green leafy vegetables. You need those tomatoes. You need those carrots. Like, every vegetable helps something. It either helps your hearing, helps your vision, helps you maintain your your vitamin nutritional capacity. It's just salad is very helpful. So you should either eat a salad for lunch every day or with your dinner every day. And I'll even go a step further. How about substitute the hot meal for the salad? You talking about you want to be 6-pack Greek. You got to do some steps to get that. So eat a salad every day. Another thing, begin to make diet modifications. Diet modifications means that you just substitute some of the bad stuff for better stuff. So you substitute the sodas for juice. That's where I'm at. I'm not completely at the place where I can eliminate sweet drinks. I like sweets. I don't like sweets. I love sweets. I love cake. I love pie. I love candy. I love soda. I love all the things that I shouldn't. With my nursing for over a decade self, I still love those things. But what I do try to be conscious of and take the necessary steps to do is substitute those things little by little. So instead of getting my favorite soda, this time I decided to get some juice, or take half of the juice and pour it out and mix it with some water. It's diluted, but you still get flavor and you're still getting some water. So in that case, you're getting a little bit of both. You're getting the vitamin C from the juice and you're getting hydration from the water. It's all good. So the same thing you should do with eating smaller portions of meat and larger portions of vegetables. And watch out for those diet trends. I know we all want the next hottest thing, the next best thing to getting slim, trim, and skinny, less than a size 6, but watch those diet trends. Like the keto craze. Everybody is pumped about the keto craze. And I ain't knocking it, because keto is getting results like a mug. I mean, you got people dropping 25 pounds in a month. And that's all well and swell. But you got to watch these diet trends and do things in moderation, because the keto craze, ladies and gentlemen, will put you in the hospital for ketoacidosis. Look it up. And that will happen if you're not careful. So yes, protein is a vital source of muscle nutrition. Yes, it is. But meat is not the only source of protein. You got beans, quinoa, tofu, sweet potatoes, avocado, leafy greens, and whatnot. So you can get protein from other things than just meat. Water. Where's the camera? See that there? Yeah, this here. That's free. In most cases, it's free. I know y'all bougie people think you can't drink water out the faucet, but by the time they put preservatives in this brand and that brand, you don't know what you're getting. The faucet may be safer. Yes, it has some metals in it and some other toxins in it, but you're getting some of that in this too. But water is important, guys. Like 60% of your body, 60% of your body, that's more than half of your human existence, is water. Okay? So if you're urinating every day, if you don't know what urinating is, if you peeing every day, you're decreasing your body fluids, and you have to replace those things. Otherwise, you become dehydrated and dry because you need some water. You need to drink at least half of your body weight in ounces of water. So, I weigh 160 pounds. So, I should be drinking no less than 80 ounces of water every single day. There's a few benefits. No, there's a lot of benefits, but I'll just give you a few benefits to drinking water. One, it speeds up your metabolism. Rah, rah. It's great for hair growth. Yay! Water gives your skin moisture and keeps us looking young. Yes. Water detoxifies and flushes waste from your body. So guess what? When you don't drink water, you keep waste in your body. And water helps with digestion and chronic constipation for those of you who are full of shit, literally. Stop. Go get some water right now. Exercise. Exercise is not only physical work, is not only a physical workout, but it's also a distressor. It's therapeutic. It helps you sleep. It boosts your immunity along with strengthening your body. We got to keep moving, folks. Like, in order for your body to stay strong, you got to keep moving. Because if you don't move it, you lose it. Decreased muscle activity leads to atrophy. So the muscle turns to flab. I don't have that much, but you know, when some ladies, when they do this, their skin swing low, sweet cherry eye. You know, that skin just be all over the place. Same thing with your thighs, your butt, everywhere that you have a lot of flab, is because you're not doing enough muscle activity. And it's never too late to start. Like, people use the excuse of not going to the gym. Like, there is no excuse. If you don't want to go to the gym, don't go to the gym. I have had a prepaid 24-hour fitness account for no less than 12 years, no more than 15 years. And before then, I used to go to Black Diamond right here down the street on 54th and Crenshaw. Black Diamond is like the prison yard. I mean, it'd be some real thugs in there, but they be working out and handling their business. That was my spot for years. Larry over there got it going on, probably still open today. I eventually went to 24-hour fitness because of my night schedule. But if you don't want to go to the gym for like more than a year, I haven't been to the gym. I work out outside. I walk at the beach. I walk at the park. I go bike riding. I dance. I do whatever, anything to keep moving. So you get a lot of benefits from activity. So if you don't move, your pecs are going to become man boobs. And a lot of you men out there have boobs bigger than mine. But you didn't hear it from me. And your abs turn to flab and everything starts to sag. Like, you got to stay active doing something. That doesn't mean that you have to do 300 sit-ups a day. The key to fitness is consistency. So don't let gym rats get you caught up in you got to work out for 1 hour a day, 6 days a week, or 7 days a week. That is not true. You can actually work out for 15 full minutes a day, or you can break up your workout into 10-minute sessions, morning, noon, and night, and you will still get fit over time. It's about a consistent routine of activity. So you got people who have never been in the gym, but they dance, and they dance a lot. They salsa, or they go out and what do you call it? I've been wanting to learn how to step. They're moving though. They're moving. And when you're moving, your body works up heat, your metabolism starts to burn. And eventually, if you decrease your caloric intake, you're going to lose weight and your body is going to stay in shape. But you got to move. You're not going to lose weight watching other people lose weight. Shout out to my sis, Melody, because she been on her grind. She is on this routine of intentional walking is what she calls it. I don't know if it's some program she's in or what, but she has had nearly 60 days of doing like 5 miles a day. And I'm so proud of her, because when I tell you she done got fine as wine, she ain't playing with y'all. And maybe the beginning part of the year before I started my new job, actually, it started last year about September. I challenged everyone to do 500 miles by the end of the year. And that challenge was no joke, because I'm talking about going from not going to the gym for like 4 years straight to trying to get back into a routine. It was hard for me at first, but I began to love walking, and then my walking turned to jogging, and my jogging turned to running, and my walking, jogging, running turned into doing Jack and Jack. Okay. Oh no, I'm sorry. Oh no, you're fine. My walking, running, jogging turned into jumping jacks, sit-ups, and some other stuff. So, and then I would bike ride for over an hour on the beach. So whatever you got to do to move, make sure you are active. Give yourself 15 minutes a day, and then work yourself up every week. Add 5 minutes onto that until you can do an hour workout with no sweat. Do it every day though. Make sure you do it every day. And I'm preaching to the choir, right? Whether it's doing chores is still being active. Intentional walks. If you have stairs in your house, make it a habit to intentionally go up and down the stairs several times a day. That's activity. Yoga is, a lot of people underestimate yoga, but let me tell you something. As a dancer for more than a decade, yoga is magnificent for long, lean muscles. So yoga slims you out and gives you a slender, graceful look, and because you're stretching yourself to capacity. And then you can even extend that. So you also have swimming. Swimming is another good exercise. I don't know how to swim, and every year that's like on my bucket list to learn how to swim. But swimming is one of the best exercises, along with cycling. With both of those exercises, you are literally using your entire body. So you're using everything from the neck down, which is so beneficial to you. And even dancing. A lot of people discredit dancing, but dancing is an activity that is going to help you lose weight. I'm not talking, I mean, you could get your 2-hour twerk on in the club, and trust me, you're going to lose some weight. Because if you ever have danced hard in the club, you know, you get to sweating and you feel like you just had a workout. How about just doing the wobble and I forget the name of the cha-cha slide, and they got another one. They always got a new one every year. But whatever they got, if you do those back to back to back, that's a workout. So sex is another good exercise. Some of y'all are getting your workout on. So maybe that's why I'm getting so fat, because I ain't getting it in. On that note, oral, not that oral, oral health. Oral health is one of the most neglected aspects of health that exists simply because of fear. Our mouth is notably one of the nastiest parts of our body, full of germs. Poor oral hygiene can lead to infectious disease. And one of the most common ways, get this, one of the most common ways to spread germs is mouth to hands, or hands touching this, that, and the third to mouth. Okay, mouth to hands or hands to mouth. Those are the most common ways to spread germs. And one of the easiest preventative measures is simply washing your hands, ladies and gentlemen. But nah. For some people, washing their hands is like asking them to drink water. They know they should do it, but they don't want to. Wash your hands. Let me tell you, two of my pet peeves is people who sneeze and cough without covering their cough. And the proper way is not in your hand, because now you're putting the germs directly in your hand, and whatever you touch, you leaving them there. That's not the appropriate way. The appropriate way is in the sleeve or covered with something, not your hands. So, and then wash your hands. If you don't have soap and water, they have that alcohol stuff. You put that on your hands. It still will disinfect the hands. But for some people, they just don't want to wash their hands. The other pet peeve is seeing a woman walk out the bathroom without washing her hands, knowing she has swiped from the front to the back and gonna have to touch the doorknob on her way out. I hated it. Now, speaking of oral health, we should all make it a health goal to brush after every meal. Floss, rinse, and drink water. Did you know that bad breath worsens with a dry mouth? So all you hot mouth people, drink some water. And dental visits. Dental visits should be every 6 months. I got to speed this up. I only have a few more minutes. I want to hit cancer. Cancer is a beast in these streets. In fact, last year, an estimated, not exact, it could be more, but 1,735,350 new diagnoses of cancer were predicted, and 609,640 people died. As frightening as HIV and AIDS once were, now people are living longer with AIDS than cancer. But early detection is key. Learn about the disease. Consult with more than one oncologist and explore all of your treatment options. Build your immunity. That's a big deal. And make healthy living your priority. And when I speak of healthy living is comprised of the physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, right? This is when living in the moment becomes pivotal and your values change. Let somebody give you a diagnosis of an end-stage disease, and guaranteed what used to be important is not so much. The most important aspect of surviving cancer is your will to live. Folks, don't give up. Fight to the finish. I don't care what your diagnosis is. I can tell you personally, being a nurse, I have seen people with cancer metastasize throughout their body. I've seen children living with cancer, and they have the best spirits. Their outlook on life is just so beyond the norm. So witnessing that and learning from that, I can only encourage you to fight to the finish. If they take your hair, if your hair is gone with chemo, rock that bald head or get a wrap, get a lace front, put your makeup on and bounce. Okay? Keep fighting to the finish. They give you medications to take. Please adhere to your medication regimen. Take the medications as prescribed. If you're scheduled to follow up with physicians, go to chemotherapy, radiation, please comply with the plan of care in order to live longer, folks. To the contrary, an unhealthy lifestyle can lead to an early or earlier death. I'm going to hit this right quick, hit it and quit it. Sexual health. The stats are increasing moment by moment. HPV, chlamydia, gonorrhea, syphilis, herpes, trichomonas, HIV, and AIDS haven't disappeared. They ain't went nowhere. People just aren't getting tested and screened. STDs are prevalent, but people won't get tested and treated. So it's spreading. 1 out of 4 reported cases, that's reported. Those are people who actually say that they have an STD, have more than one of the forms of herpes, and genital herpes, ladies and gentlemen, becomes more common as people age. So the older you get, the more common. It ain't no big old deal. Everybody, so-and-so got herpes. She taking acyclovir and taking this, that, and the third. At least she treating hers. But you need to go and get screened. You need to get tested, and you need to get treated. Is sex really to die for? Ask yourself, if you got diagnosed with a terminal sexual transmitted disease, was that sex really to die for? Huh. Nah. Okay, moving right along. We're about to bring this to a close. I hope y'all learning something from this. Preventative care. I already talked about STDs. Preventative care and planning. I'm going to try to hit both of those together before we shut it down in 1 minute. Do what you need to do to prevent from getting sick and plan your future by getting your advanced directive completed. That's a document that you designate someone to be your healthcare decision maker in an event of an untimely circumstance where you cannot make decisions for yourself. Everybody over 18 years of age or more should have this document in place. I would love to keep going because life is my health and health is my life, but I can't do it. So your favorite nurse hopes that I've given you some tools or some information or just a reminder to keep your health as a priority, folks. This is your girl T-double-E signing off with the vibe of the tribe.